Hiya and welcome back to Green Hill Gaming, where I share my passion of video games with the whole wide world. In this live stream I'll be discussing the new PlayStation Plus service and how I feel about the premium tier. So sit back, relax, but as always, and more importantly, enjoy the live stream. I'm now going to get the live stream up and running on my phone so I can interact with all of you lovely viewers. Audio is perfect. Okay. I have one main question in this live stream. That is, why does Sony shit on its retro players? You see, I'm not shitting on Sony. Sony is shitting on me. In case you don't know, Sony has launched a new PlayStation Plus service with 3 tiers. There's the PlayStation Plus Essentials, or is it Essential? Which is basically the PS Plus that you know and are subscribed to right now. Then there is 2 more tiers, which give you more than what you have right now. That is PS Plus Extra, where you get a whole load of quality, fantastic PS4 games and PS5 games as well. A whole load. Then you have the third and final tier, the premium tier, where you get a huge selection of PlayStation 3 games through cloud streaming, and you get classic PlayStation 1, 2 and PSP games, and you also get game trials as well. So if you weren't aware of the new PlayStation Plus service, that's what it is. Hello Colson, hello Minzy. You are both very welcome back to Green Hill Gaming. How are you both doing? Hope you're having a great Thursday so far, and I hope you enjoyed the live stream. Hello Johnny, finished school yesterday, having a great day. How about you? Fantastic stuff, Colson. Enjoy your summer break from school. Minzy, because Jim lying is all about numbers, doesn't care about the art of game. Fun fact about Jim Lyon. Let's call him Jim Lyon from now on, shall we? He actually went on record once and actually said that when it comes to retro PlayStation games, he's actually said, who wants to play those old games anyway? And then he quickly kind of started to say, oh well, you know, I didn't really mean it like that. Well, I'm going to point out in this live stream how he actually did mean it. Jim Lyon, following Don Matrick in 2013, must log in once a week. Yeah, I remember that. And I do as well. Okay. Why am I pissed off? Why do I feel? Why is Johnny saying that Sony is shitting all over its retro players? Why, Johnny? Why are you so pissed off? I'm pissed off because my first PlayStation console was the first PlayStation console, the PlayStation 1. And I, as well as millions of other PlayStation players all over the world, went out and bought these iconic games that were released on PlayStation. Games like Metal Gear Solid, Resident Evil and Final Fantasy VII. Games that defined the PlayStation brand, games that sold the PlayStation product, put it into so many family homes all across the world and established the brand of PlayStation. Because fun fact everyone, you wouldn't be playing PlayStation 4 and 5 if it wasn't for the success of PlayStation 1, and again the reason why that console and the PlayStation brand was a success was because of retro game players like myself who actually made the PlayStation 1 successful. I, as a retro player, feel extremely pissed off with Sony's offering with the PlayStation Plus Premium tier. In a nutshell, they want to resell you license of games, reason why I'm not buying consoles anymore. It seems to be the case, yeah. But you know what though? I hear your point, I see your point. But you know what though, I'm going to get to it in a minute. I wouldn't mind if they actually gave me the option to buy some PS1 games. And before you start saying, oh, but Johnny, there is PS1 games. Yes, there is PS1 games on the PS Plus Premium tier, which I'll be discussing, which is the whole point of this live stream. Okay, so, also in case you don't know, the new PlayStation Plus has launched officially in Japan as of right now. This isn't the half list, so don't be saying, oh Johnny, it isn't the full list. It is the full list. It's officially launched in Japan as of right now. So let's talk about the numbers, shall we? The numbers. I seem to recall hearing that there was going to be 700 games in total with this new PlayStation Plus service. Okay, let's start with the PS4 games. If you're a fan of PS4, you're going to love this new service, let me tell you, because you're getting over 200 PS4 games with the PS Plus Extra tier in total. Well over 200 games. Games like Fallout 4, Detroit Become Human, Demon's Souls, Horizon, Ghost of Tsushima, the Spider-Man games, God of War 2018. You know, quality, iconic games that you would associate with PlayStation 4. Over 200 PS4 games included with PlayStation Plus Extra. So now we move on to the PlayStation Plus Premium, right? Because that's the service that I had my eyes on. And you know what? I held off making this video. I gave Sony the benefit of the doubt because I wanted to wait until the full list got released. I wanted to wait until this service actually launched in the market. It's already launched in Malaysia. It's now launched in Japan. So it's officially launched. I wanted to wait until it was officially launched. I gave them the benefit of the doubt. So now on the PlayStation Plus Premium tier, right, there is well over 100 PS3 games. And some of those games are Resident Evil games, which I'll get to in a minute. Lots of iconic PS3 games in that list. Well over 100 PS3 games. Now we get to the part that is the reason for me making this video and why I feel like Sony is shitting all over me as a retro player. Because again, it's not me shitting on Sony, it's Sony shitting on me. People forgot PS1 and 2 hardware has aged. I also heard all the classic games will be PAL versions. Someone in Indonesia realized on PS1 boot up, it said, you are correct, we Europeans, anyone who basically got the PAL versions when the PS1 released, like PAL regions basically are getting the PAL versions. Even Nintendo got that right, for God's sake, and that's saying something. On the Nintendo Switch Online, you can choose whether you want to play the 50 Hz or the 60 Hz version. So even Nintendo actually got it right. Can you believe that? Nintendo, of all people. So yeah, Europeans will not be getting the 60 Hz versions of the PS1 games. You are correct. So yeah, for the part that I want to really focus on, PlayStation 1 games. Remember how I said that PS4, there will be over 200 PS4 games, quality games like Detroit Become Human, the Spider-Man games, Ghost of Tsushima and God of War? and how there's going to be over 100 PS3 games. But sorry, there is, because this service has launched, there is over 200 PS4 games. There is over 100 PS3 games because the service has launched in Japan. Okay. Let's move on to PlayStation 1. Again, the console that established the PlayStation brand. There wouldn't be a PS3, PS4 or PS5 without that console being successful. And the reason it was successful is because of retro players like myself who went out and bought the console and bought the iconic games. Iconic games like Grand Theft Auto, Spyro the Dragon, Final Fantasy VII, Metal Gear Solid, Silent Hill, etc., etc. Let's talk about those games. So, what are PlayStation Plus premium players getting when it comes to PS1 games? 12 games. 1, 2, 12. At launch, right now, in Japan. Again, this service is launched in Japan. I mean, maybe when it comes to Europe, they'll add in 50 more games. And even at that, that's 62, which is far less than 200 PS4 games and over 100 PS3 games. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe a lot more games will release in Europe. Don't worry, Johnny, when it releases in Europe, something magically will happen and the European market will just get so many better games. Hopefully. I'd love that to happen, but I'm not very optimistic it will happen. 12 games. 12 PlayStation 1 games. And let's look at the games, shall we? I didn't write them all down because I just was in a rush, to be honest with you. But let's look at the games that matter in terms of me, right? You got Ape Escape. That's a game I never got to play on PlayStation 1. I'm actually quite excited for that. Tekken 2, an iconic fighting game. And again, that established the PlayStation brand. And Oddworld Abe's Odyssey. Love that game, farting and burping around the levels. Other than that, there's nothing worth talking about. For me, that's where it ends. There's nothing worth talking about. 12 PlayStation 1 games at launch compared to over 200 PS4 games and over 100 PS3 games. There was a lot of games on PS1. I mean a lot of games on PS1. As I mentioned earlier, Resident Evil, there's plenty of Resident Evil games on PS3 with the PS Plus Extra tier, but there's not one mention of the original Resident Evil 1, 2 or 3 on PS1. No mention of Resident Evil Director's Cut, no mention of Resident Evil Survivor. Nothing. But you're going to get Resident Evil Remake, of course. You're going to get Medieval. Remember that iconic PlayStation 1 game that, again, was one of the games that established the PlayStation as a brand? You can get that, but guess what? It's a PS4 remaster. I mean, that pisses me off. It's like PlayStation just don't care about PlayStation 1 games, retro games. And you don't take my word for it, take Jim Ryan's word for it, because he said himself that who wants to play these old games? Or something along the lines of that. And then he quickly changed his tune. I mean, there's so many more games that could have made available at launch. And again, before you say, Johnny, don't worry, they'll update it with more games as we go along. Okay, that's great. Well, then why didn't they just release 12 PS4 games then at launch instead of 200? And slowly update that list as we go along. Why did they give us 200 PS4 games over 100 PS3 games but 12 PS1 games? That's a bit unfair, isn't it? That's a bit unbalanced, isn't it? I see your point about it being updated, but why is it that we're getting a hell of a lot more PS4 games and PS3 games at launch but 12 PS1 games at launch? It's a fucking joke. Can I mention so many other games that could come to PS1 that is not included on this? Fucking joke. Let's move on to PS2. I would argue one of the greatest consoles of all time. The highest selling console of all time, if I'm not mistaken. The library of PS2 games, oh my god. The library of PS2 games is just legendary. I mean, we're talking games like The Getaway. We're talking games like Grand Theft Auto, San Andreas. Killzone, the God of War games, just to mention a tiny fraction. But forget all that, you're getting 4 Jak and Daxter games. If you're not a fan of Jak and Daxter, then fuck you, is what Sony is saying to you. 4 Jak and Daxter games. Chad, how are you doing, my boy? You are always very welcome to Green Hill Gaming, Chad. How are you doing today on this Thursday? I am sharing my thoughts on the new PlayStation Plus service that has officially launched in Japan right now, and in particular how I feel about the premium tier. The amount of PS1 games on it are a joke. Chad, 12 PS1 games at launch in Japan compared to over 200 PS4 games and over 100 PS3 games. Some of those PS3 games are Resident Evil games, but none of those classic Resident Evil PS1 games are on the PS1 tier. And you know what? This isn't about me shitting on Sony, Chad. This is about Sony shitting on me as a retro player. The donut shop is closed. In real life, the trials of Chad Middleton. You know, Chad, you have a tough life. You have a tough life, Chad. Thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers. Trumpet noise. Doo-doo-doo. Parker has arrived in the live stream. How are you doing, Parker? You are always very welcome to Green Hill Gaming as well. Hope your Thursday is going very well. And you are welcome to my live stream where I'm sharing my thoughts on the new PlayStation Plus service, but in particular the premium tier. And how I honestly feel that I'm asking, like, why is Sony shitting on its retro players? It's not me shitting on Sony, it's Sony shitting on me. So yeah, I mean, as I said, if you're a fan, so just to catch you all up basically, at launch in Japan right now with this new PS Plus tier, with PS Plus Extra, you are getting over 200 PS4 games, including Detroit Become Human, Demon's Souls, Horizon, Ghost of Tsushima, Spider-Man games, and the God of War 2018. And PS3 got over 100 games, including a lot of Resident Evil games. On PS1, 12 games. The only games we're talking about are Ape Escape, Tekken 2, and Oddworld Abe's Odyssey. The rest, as I said, not worth talking about. 12 compared to 200 and over 100. An absolute joke. On PS2, the greatest console of all time, the highest selling console of all time, with a fantastic library of games. Guess what they're getting at launch? 4 Jak and Daxter games. 4 Jak and Daxter games. It's like they don't give a shit about retro. And the last, Jesus Christ, the last retro console and retro that I'm going to talk about just goes to prove my point. If you're a fan of PSP, you know, the first PlayStation handheld, you know, being able to have a PlayStation on the go, oh, you're going to love this. You've got one whole game. I mean, who needs 2 games? Who needs 3, 4, 16, 20? Who needs 200 PS4 games when you got one PSP game? Congratulations, Jim Ryan, you fucking handicapped cunt. Glad you're keeping well, Parker. They pulled the Nintendo. Man, even Nintendo got it right when it comes to the European and American versions. In Europe, of course, we all played PAL versions of the games, right? We played the 50Hz versions of the games. But at least Nintendo gives us Europeans the option to play games like Super Mario 64 in 60Hz. So even Nintendo did it right. The trumpet noises have intensified. They have, for me, they have. So that's it. And I'm pissed. And again, it's not me shitting all over Sony, it's Sony shitting all over me. I am a retro player. I grew up with PlayStation. I played a part in establishing the PlayStation brand, making it a household brand, allowing modern gamers to play consoles like the PS4 and the PS5. And I just feel shat all over right now. I feel like Amber Heard came in, you know, with a Jim Ryan mask and just shat all over me. And I'm not impressed. And I feel like taking Jim Ryan to trial, to be honest with you. No, but all joking aside, I'm actually pissed off with Sony with this, you know. And I mean, I can look. You know, it is what it is, like. Again, like, I'm not shitting over Sony. Sony's shitting over me, like. I mean, I think one of the biggest arguments that a PlayStation fanboy is going to make, and before we even... What am I playing right now, ladies and gentlemen? I'm playing Gran Turismo 7, the latest Gran Turismo game, a PlayStation game, on the PlayStation 5 is what I'm playing. So I love my PlayStation. I wouldn't be having this conversation. I wouldn't be so pissed off right now if I wasn't a PlayStation fan. I wouldn't give a shit. Fuck PS1, I'd be saying to myself. Fuck PS2, fuck PS3, I wouldn't care. I'd be off playing fucking Mario. Or Halo. But no, I start off every live stream by saying I share my passion of video games. This is the passion. This is called brutal constructive criticism. It's brutal, yes. It is brutal. But I want Sony to hear this. I want Jim to hear this. Jim, who wants to play classic games? I do. Because guess what, Jim? You wouldn't be wearing that fucking suit. Right? If it wasn't for people like me. You wouldn't be in the position you're in right now if it hadn't been for people like me. So take it to constructive criticism, Jim. And do something with it. So I want to play those old games, Jim. I have a massive library of PS1 games. Far better than what the crap they're fucking giving here at launch. And again, see, okay. So let's talk about the PlayStation fanboys and their counter argument for this, right?
Johnny, the list of PS1 and PS2 and PSP games will get updated monthly. Don't worry, there's more coming. Okay, well then why didn't they fucking do that with PS4 and PS3? Why the fuck did PS4 launch with over 200 fucking games and PS3 with over 100 then? I'm going to get 12 PS1 games and 4 PS2 games and they're all Jack and fucking Daxter games and 1 PSP game. Why not balance it out then? Where's the balance? I don't see a balance. So that argument, what you can do with that argument is you can shine it up real nice and shove it right up your fucking hole. That's what you can do with that counter argument, fanboys. I forgot the second argument, to be honest. Not gonna lie. It'll come to me. It's like the PS Plus premium tier was an afterthought. It's almost like they just originally planned to just merge PlayStation Now with PlayStation Plus. Because again, PlayStation Plus Essentials is basically what you have already. It's the PS Plus you have right now. You get your monthly PS4 and PS5 games, you get to play online, you get cloud storage. Right? But with PS Plus Extra, you're getting a whole lot more PS4 games. Right? But it's almost like it was a last minute thing. You know, it's like I just ran into the office, right, and said, "Hey, listen here now, Jim, yeah? You be sitting there by, for one for me. So put some PS1 games and PS2 games and they're no by." And he's like, "Okay, so." But no, all joking aside though, it's like it was an afterthought. Because 12 PS1 games, 4 Jack and Daxter games, for fuck's sake, and 1 PSP game. No, that's what I'm looking at anyway. That's what I looked up. I mean, if I'm wrong, correct me. By all means. Oh no, seriously, if I actually got it wrong, correct me. But I did look it up. It was hard to find exact like statistics. You know what I mean? Because it just released in Japan. Like, so if I'm wrong, please correct me. I'm asking you to correct me. If you're sitting there steaming, steam coming out of your fucking arsehole, just correct me. Like, say, "Johnny, you're wrong. Tell me I'm wrong." If I'm wrong, I want to be told I'm wrong. Like, you know. But that's what I was looking at anyway, you know? So again, if I'm wrong, oh, it's going to rain out there. I'm planning on going for a walk. Just walk off all this stress. But listen to me. This is not toxic. I'm not being toxic, right? I'm not being salty. Just shove your Zoomer fucking memes and fucking quotes and labels up your hole, okay? I'm not being toxic. It's constructive criticism. I love my PlayStation. That's why I went back and got a PlayStation 2 so I could play PS2 games and PS1 games. You watch my live streams. You see that I play classic PS1 games. I love my PS1 games. That's why I want to see more of them on this service. I'm not some Xbox fanboy sitting here saying, "Oh, look at your shitty PS1 games. Nobody gives a fuck about those games. Oh, look at your shitty PS3 games. Oh, we have you have new release games day one. Oh, do you know? So let's go back to the counter argument again that somebody would raise in the defence of this new PS Plus service, and in particular the premium tier, right? And it's, don't worry, Johnny, more games will come. It will get updated. That's great. I would imagine so. I'd be 10 times more pissed off if that wasn't the case. But what pisses me off, and what doesn't add up, is why wasn't it balanced out then? There's 12 PS1 games. Why not 12 PS4 games in the month of June, right? Why not 12 games for each console? So 12 PS4 games, 12 PS3 games, 12 PS1 games, 12 PS2 games, and 12 PSP games in the month of June. And then the next month, you add more 12. 12 more, 12 more, 12 more. What I'm looking at here is a massive unbalance. 200 PS4 games, 100 PS3 games, and 12 PS1 games. And again, some of which aren't even worth talking about. I mean, oh my god, I can't think of PlayStation without thinking of Mr. Driller. Mr. Driller, everyone! What the fuck is Mr. Driller? When he's drilling about. I mean, obviously, I'm very excited for Ape Escape because I'd never played that before, and I know it's a very iconic game for PlayStation. Tekken 2, I'll have kicked some ass in Tekken, or get my ass kicked in Tekken sometimes. Oddworld Abe's Odyssey, again, that is a game I love. It's a game I love very much. But other than that, there's nothing more talking about. So it's not, the argument doesn't add up. It just seems like this is a complete afterthought. The classic games on this service is a complete and utter afterthought. And again, as I said earlier, some people may say, but Johnny, this is only Japan. Don't worry, it'll be different in Europe somehow, which to me makes no sense. How is it going to be any different? I mean, it's launching this month in Europe. It's releasing at the end of the month, so I can't see it being... And again, if they decided to add in 50 more PS1 games, here, Johnny, here's 50 more PS1 games for you. That would still be 62 games. So you're still comparing 62 PS1 games to 200 PS4 games at launch. So it's not going to make a damn difference. My point will still be here, and if anything, it'll be stronger. It'll be stronger. It will be stronger. But I think I've roasted Sony long enough now, so why don't we just take a little break from I mean, poor Jim Ryan is probably crying right now into his coffee. Let's just let Jim Ryan have a moment, and we'll just take a break. How's everyone doing in the live chat? Chat, how are you doing? Anything happening in your life? Any breaking video game news? Has Jim Ryan resigned due to my constructive criticism? What's happening in the world? What's happening? What's happening, as they say here in Ireland? Admire the senior right now in Gran Turismo 7. Why don't we just take a break? Because I'm sure you don't want to hear me just rambling on, repeating myself over and over again. I've said all I need to say. If anyone joins the live stream, in particular Supon, and is like, what did I miss? It's all been said. In your own time, rewind the live stream, watch from the start, you'll hear it all. I think Chad is getting his coffee. That's my guess anyway. I'm actually going to walk with me if the microphone holds up. No, actually, well, yeah, I'll just walk with me digitally, virtually walk with me. I need to test the quality of my Bluetooth. Not Bluetooth. Is it Bluetooth? Yeah, Bluetooth technology. Okay, what's my audio like? Of my Bluetooth. Testing. Testing.
What's my audio like?
Testing. Testing. Yeah, okay. Audio is grand. Audio is grand. Oh god, it's so dark. It's gonna rain. It's gonna rain. Alright, okay. Alright. I am currently. I want to make sure that my audio is crisp and clear. Alright. I am currently. I want to make sure that my audio is crisp. Yeah, it is Chris Redfield clear. Okay. I am kneeling beside my entire PlayStation 1 collection right now. Let's see. We've got a game that is absolutely PlayStation in every way. Grand Theft Auto. A game that has not only established the PlayStation as a console, as a brand, but an entire series. We have Metal Gear Solid. We have Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. Resident Evil Director's Cut. Gran Turismo, the first Gran Turismo. You're looking back at Gran Turismo 7 right now. I'm looking back at the original Gran Turismo. You have Spyro the Dragon. Now I'm going to come Warzone. WF Warzone is there as well. I've got music. I've got Mortal Kombat, Anthologies of Zero, Rayman, Resident Evil, the original version, Populous the Beginning, Theme Park. What is that? Music 200 and the Final Fantasy game. I can't see because it's down at the very bottom. I think it's Final Fantasy 9. I have Silent Hill, Grand Theft Auto London, Shaolin. By the way, none of these games are actually included in the Japanese launch for PlayStation Plus Premium. Resident Evil 2, Grand Theft Auto 2, Micro Machines V3, Theme Park, WWF SmackDown 2. Now the wrestling games, I understand, releasing classic wrestling games is tricky because you're talking about licensing and stuff like that. A lot of wrestlers have left, they've died, there's all sorts going on there. Mortal Kombat 4, Tekken 1. It gets strange when they start off with Tekken 2. They don't have Tekken 1 on the list. I can't see that one. But it's there anyway. Whatever it might be. Oh, it's Driver, another one. I see that Ubisoft are supporting PlayStation Plus Extra, but their PlayStation or their Ubisoft, their Ubisoft service, they're merging their service with PlayStation Plus. I don't see Driver anywhere on the PlayStation Plus, the new PlayStation Plus Premium. So there you go. Oh, why would I walk right past my PS2 collection? Johnny, you silly Willy. Okay. Remember I mentioned Resident Evil games that were on the PS3? One of them being the remake of Resident Evil 1, but it's nowhere to be seen on the PlayStation 1 games. Okay, on my PS2 games right now, Resident Evil Outbreak, a game that a lot of Resident Evil fans are actually crying out for to be remade. I'm sure a lot of Resident Evil players would love to be able to play Resident Evil Outbreak. Again, in wrestling, I'm not going to come to wrestling games because the Simpsons game, what a game. Final Fantasy X, the original version. Peter Jackson's King Kong, the official game of the movie. Spyro the Dragon, Year of the Dragon. GoldenEye, Rogue Agent. Forgotten Realms, Demon's Stones. Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty. The Sims 2 Pets, Tekken 4. Need for Speed Underground 2. 13, or was it 12? No, 13. The Getaway. The Getaway, people. Pro Evolution Soccer 5, Prince of Persia, The Stand of Times. Again, Ubisoft is meant to be supporting this service, whereas their Ubisoft classic games. Sonic Gems Collection, Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks, Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, 50 Cent Bulletproof. There's a game in there, I don't know what it is. Matrix Path of Neo, Silent Hill 2, Grand Theft Auto 3, Gran Turismo 3, and Colin McRae 3. None of which are on this new PS Plus service that launched officially in Japan today. None of them. And you're probably wondering why I'm pissed off. You're probably wondering why I feel Sony is shitting on me as a retro player. Well, there's the reason.
There's a reason. There is the reason. Jim wants to close the PS3 shop badly. I thought it closed officially. Is the PS3, the PSN store and PS3 not already closed? I thought it was. Now Jim just wants to satisfy his Zoomer fan base, the new generation of PlayStation gamers, because he knows that they don't want to play classic games. But Jim, good old Jim, would want to take a good hard look at himself in the mirror and a good hard think. You know, because he's had long enough now to cry into his coffee. I gave him a moment. To be fair now, I gave Jim his moment. Come on now, Jim. You're an adult. Come back into the room now and take some more constructive criticism. Jim, you wouldn't be in the position that you're in right now, head of PlayStation, your fancy little suit, you're strutting down the road, you know, look at me, I'm Mr. PlayStation. You wouldn't have your title if it wasn't for people like me, retro players like me, who went out, bought the PlayStation. No, I didn't buy it, my mother bought it, my father bought it, but still, it was given to me. It doesn't change anything. And me playing classic PlayStation 1 games that established a brand, the PlayStation brand. You know? So just a bit of appreciation there, Jimmy, my boy. Oh, you know, Sony got it so right with the PlayStation 5. The perfect blend between high-end specs and high-end innovation and quality games at launch and soon after. But then they just get it wrong in areas. I mean, take tonight's State of Play as an example. And I've already heard criticism from people who are big fans of PlayStation, big PlayStation gamers, straight up, right in front of me, criticizing PlayStation for this State of Play and how they don't communicate well with their fan base. I've had that told to me from an actual, like, die-hard PlayStation fan. This time of the year is considered to be the biggest time of the year for gaming reveals and announcements. And I mean, like, what is PlayStation doing tonight? They're giving you reveals for third-party games, the majority of which are more than likely going to be available on other platforms, and potentially day one on Xbox Game Pass. And a sneak peek at VR games. And it's probably going to be a very quick sneak peek. You know, a sneak peek is called a sneak peek for a reason. We probably won't be getting any solid VR information until September, which is what I've been told. And there's absolutely nothing about PlayStation themselves, PlayStation Studio games. Anyway, that's another topic. That's another topic. I'm just pissed off with the amount of PS1 games on this new PS Plus premium service compared to the amount of PS4 games on the PS Plus Extra tier. I mean, 12 PS1 games compared to over 200 PS4 games. It's only when you put the numbers side by side that the point starts to kind of hit home, really, you know? It's the numbers, Mason, that actually matter. I'm going to piss off Supon. You know, I hope Supon doesn't mind me saying this. No offense, Supon, but I had a conversation with Supon earlier about this on WhatsApp. And he said to me, "You're shitting on it already," which really pissed me off. And then when I told him that I'm going to make a video about it, he was like, "Oh, but make the video, but don't be toxic." Like, I'm sorry, Supon, that I have to get your permission to do a video on anything. Sorry, Supon, the great Supon. And he says to me, "Don't be toxic." This is coming from somebody who on a regular basis calls Nintendo gay. And he literally went on record and said that Metroid makes him puke to his stomach. That's more toxic than Chernobyl, for fuck's sake. And he's talking to me about toxic. It's called constructive criticism, Supon. I hope you don't mind me sharing that with the chat. You see, this is the problem with some of these fanboys. It's like, they just take it so personally. Just lock themselves into a room and cry themselves to sleep. Because I have a personal opinion on a piece of plastic. And a bit of metal. And a brand I don't work for and don't collect the paycheck from. That's kind of pathetic, really, like, you know? What is it about it that this takes so personally, like? Chillax, do a bit of yoga for yourself, for fuck's sake. Huh? God almighty, like. Yeah, I'm going to send this to Supon, actually. He didn't even reply. I'll probably get the "I'm busy" message. But if I wasn't doing this live stream, I'd be getting play Fortnite, play Fortnite, play Fortnite, play RDR2, play RDR2. Nintendo gay. I puked because of Metroid. But yeah, I mean, I don't know why people just take it so personally. Like, whenever I have a criticism against either Nintendo or PlayStation, like, why people have to take it so personally, like, I mean, a personal attack. I mean, Jesus Christ, I mean, if I called your mother a whore, that's a personal attack. Me having a, you know, constructive criticism against Sony, a company, PlayStation, you know, a brand, and PS4 service, you know, a service, how is that a personal attack? Why should that affect your life? Why should you lose sleep at night because of that? You know, it's just so pathetic, really, how people react in that way. And I'm not the one shitting on Sony. Like, again, Sony is shitting on me. Sony is shitting on me. Here I am, a retro PlayStation player who me and millions of other players all across the world helped to establish the PlayStation brand. You know, because we went out and bought the PS1, or it was bought for us, but it doesn't make a damn difference. It was brought into our home, it was paid for, you know, money went to Sony, bought all the classic games, and again made the PlayStation what it is today. We're sitting here and we're looking back at 12 PS1 games compared to over 200 PS4 games and over 100 PS3 games. You know? I mean, and imagine being a PS2 gamer. Imagine growing up with the PS2 and you think of games like Getaway. And you're thinking, oh, I can't wait to check out the PS2 games. What's it going to be? 4 Jak and Daxter games. It's basically Jak and Daxter. Supon's out at the party with me. Supon, how can I do a party chat when I'm in the middle of a live stream? I better reply to Supon, tell him that I'm actually in the middle of a live stream, so I can't do a party chat. Why do people think that it's possible to do a party chat and a live stream at the same time? I will never understand. Come if you're not streaming. I am. He knows I'm streaming, like. I'm gonna send him it when it gets uploaded. I'm gonna make him watch this. He knows I'm live, like. It's probably my second viewer, I'd say. I got 2 likes. Already. Look at me and my 2 whole likes. Tell you one thing. 2 likes. It's more than fucking the PSP game. It's more than the amount of PSP games coming to the PS Plus service. I currently have more views than PSP games on PS Plus Premium in Japan right now. And I say Japan right now because that's the. No, I mean, oh yeah, I think. Oh yeah. I think this was the second argument that that these fanboys may use as as a counter argument. But Johnny, it's different markets. Okay. First thing I will say to that is it's the exact same games that released on Malaysia. No, Malaysia is in Asia. Japan is also in Asia, so you could argue it's the Asian market. But what's so the games are? What is so Japanese about Oddworld Dave's Odyssey? It's a platformer. If I'm not mistaken, it's actually made by in English, and they're actually made by English developers. So that by no means is some kind of anime, like fucked up, horny schoolgirl anime, Japanese game, some shit like, it's Abe's Odyssey. It's a platformer, Same with Ape Escape as well, I would even argue. So it's not like they're just wild, niche Japanese games that never made it outside of Japan. So I can't see the lineup being any different in Europe. If it is fantastic, great. I can't wait. And I'd be happy to make a video. Correcting myself and saying, oh, you know what, I was wrong. Resident Evil is on there now in Europe. When that happens, we'll have a conversation about it. But that hasn't happened yet. Abe's Odyssey, the anime. Oh God, I don't even want to think about that now, to be honest. I don't even want to think about that. So I'm just thinking about what I said there earlier about Ubisoft. What's Ubisoft's subscription service again? Is it Ubisoft Plus? Is it? Whatever the hell it is. They said they're supporting this new PlayStation Plus service, right? But all they mentioned was like games like, the Assassin's Creed games on PS4. Again, PS4. This is basically fucking PS4 Plus, basically. Not one mention of their classic PS1 games. Not one mention of the Rayman series that started on PS1. Not one mention of Driver. Not one mention of Prince of Persia on PS2. Fucking joke. Absolute joke. I actually sent him to... Oh, he's going to watch this, man. He is going to watch this. If he doesn't, he's going to hear it. No, there's no Rayman. There is no Rayman. You're welcome to look it up online. I mean, again, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Correct me if I am wrong. But I did research like the full list of this new PS Plus service, the games, the full list of the games, and those were the games that I was looking back at. They weren't the Malaysia ones. They weren't the teaser games that got released about a month ago. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm just not going to check it up again now. But if I'm wrong, just correct me. Feel free to correct me. But I'm pretty sure that what what I've said is pretty factual. It's pretty factual. To my knowledge, I don't think Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3 has appeared on there. Now, there's an interesting one though, because somebody logged into their Hong Kong. I think it was the Hong Kong anyway. PSN account. There was some region in there, and apparently Dino Crisis 2 showed up, but it wasn't available yet. So that could release soon. But it's, do you know what? See, that's what I'm trying to say. You're going to have these people with their half-arsed counter arguments saying more games will get added. Of course they're going to get added. I'd be 10 times more pissed off if that's all the games we got. I am not sitting here saying that Sony are only going to give us 12 games for the entire lifespan of this service. I'm not saying that. If that was the case, I would be fucking fuming more than I'm fuming right now. Of course more games will get added into it. So more than likely Dino Crisis 2 will get added. More than likely, eventually, the classic Resident Evil games will get announced. More than likely. My issue is what is being given at launch right now in Japan, compared to the PS4 and PS3 games. Again, 12 games at launch on PS1, 1 game at launch on PSP, and 4 Jak and Daxter games on PS2, compared to over 200 PS4 games and over 100 PS3 games. That's my issue. I'm not denying that more games will get added. Of course more games will get added. But Johnny, what's your problem then? Oh, see, the thing is, man, you can't explain logic to a retard. Unfortunately. It's just not possible. It just hasn't happened in the world of science yet. Hopefully one day, we'll be able to, educate a retard with logic. But that day hasn't arrived yet. Okay, look, I'm actually going to end the live stream now. I've said my piece. Jim Ryan, I want to play classic PS1 games. And you should respect those classic PS1 games, because if it wasn't for the success of those classic PS1 games, you wouldn't be in the position you're in right now, Jim. Just get your act together and respect retro players. I'm out. Chat, thanks for watching. Thanks everyone else for watching, and I will see you in the next live stream.